very much for the kind welcome. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the opportunity. I must say that I'm not a particularly good guest today or chief guest today. I arrived late because my flight was late. And then the venue was changed. Originally, I thought it was closer to the airport. So I thought I could make it in short order. And second, I don't have any prepared comments, but that's probably not unusual. But I must say I'm very happy to be here because I think this event, they have been waiting for a date to invite me. So either they're a bit masochistic or they really wanted me to come. So I thought, okay, I'm very happy to come. I know many of my friends are here. But I have, on a more serious note, a lot of value for the kind of work done by FICCI in general. And why I think something like this event, the first of its kind, the awards for young leaders, is very important to our society. Even as a sitting minister in a government and now a second time elected representative, it is very clear to me that the government has a very important but limited role in how society evolves, how the economy evolves. We are not a communist system, we are not the state owns everything. We are a socialist country but with a capitalist economic model. In that sense, the government can create an environment where entrepreneurship flourishes, where individuals can unleash their creative potential, their economic interests, and we can do it better or worse. This notion of ease of doing business, this notion of support for entrepreneurs or innovators, all these are the kind of building blocks, the green field, if you will, upon which we really need as a society. We need innovators, entrepreneurs to drive growth, create jobs, bring greater leverage to the natural resources in our society, in our country, in our community, and get the best possible outcome at the end for all our citizens or the average quality of life. In particular, it has become clearer to me now that a good democracy requires a significant middle, whether that is a middle class, middle scale industries and companies, middle-sized institutions. It is very rare to find around the world extreme separation between the haves and have-nots and still have a vibrant democracy. The notion of democracy requires some stable middle, some path to a better life, to the dream for a large majority of the people. In that sense, the more I travel around the world, I used to be a banker, I looked at life in a different way. Now when I travel as a public servant, it's clearer to me those governments, those structures that encourage entrepreneurship, that support the MSME sector, that encourage or actively create clusters or organizations like FICCI, which can be both support system plus helping hand plus inspiration for many people who want to be their own master, who want to see their ideas come to life. So in that sense, I would say institutions like FICCI are vital not just for economic growth, but for creating this middle segment that is so vital to have a good democracy as opposed to an oligopoly or a monopolistic system. In fact, I would say, if you look around the world, there's a very strong correlation in the places that have good democracies, good quality of life for average citizens, and the size of the middle, whether it's Germany, Western Europe, Scandinavia, Australia, Singapore, Canada, all these places, that structure exists. And then lastly, I would say, in particular, this notion that we must identify and encourage people while they're still young to take on the responsibility of leadership is so vital today, because I think as a population, we are right at that precipice. At this point, there are more young people in India than there have ever been, both in sheer number and as a percentage of the population. In a few years, that will start changing in Tamil Nadu, and in a couple of decades, that will start changing in India. We are also going to be an aging population. So I think now is the time for us to extract the huge potential, whether that is in ensuring employment for as many as possible, whether it is creating the environment and the support system for innovators, for startup founders, for entrepreneurs who can drive growth, who can think out of the box. And I think some of it clearly has to do with age. The older we are, sometimes it's harder. Not always, but there are great icons here like Dr. Velamani who have done it at different ages. But generally, I would say that there's a strong correlation between innovative thinking and relatively young age, particularly in the age of a global integrated market and interconnected through wires economy. So in that sense, I congratulate heartily Dr. Preetha Ganesh for heading this initiative and putting together these awards and creating this point of time where we can recognize and encourage leaders. I'm very honored and privileged to share the stage with the leadership of FICCI, Dr. G.S.K. Velu, the chairman who I've met many times before, Mr. Bhupesh Nagarajan, the co-chairman who's from Madurai, my hometown, Dr. Ashri Ganesh, who I also share a lot in common with, Mr. C.K. Koravel, a good friend of mine, an inspiration to many, the legendary Dr. Velamani, and for the first time I'm meeting Dr. Preetha Ganesh. So I thank you all once again. I apologize for the delay. It was out of my control. And I congratulate the winners and I applaud FICCI and Dr. Preetha Ganesh for this initiative. Thank you very much.